Hi, this is Eddie Hearn, and you're watching Lights Out.
This is Faisal Khan for Lights Out, proudly sponsored by Spartans Law, and with me via Zoom, I'm delighted to be joined by the man who is known as the Welsh Canelo. It's the undefeated Jordan Withers. Jordan, good evening. First of all, thank you for taking your time out to speak to us. And second of all, how are you doing?
Yeah, all good. My pleasure coming on. Yeah, I'm all good.
It's a pleasure getting you on, Jordan. Obviously, we've got a few bits to discuss with you. Let's just talk about the news that you broke on your Instagram page the other day. You've signed a deal with Let's Go Management, a new boxing management company that growing very fast in the sport of boxing, especially in the UK. Just talk to us the reason behind that and why you signed with Let's Go Management.
Well, like I train with Gavin Gwynn. He's my stable mate, so he's signed by Let's Go Management with Leedon, and he's had massive opportunities, and they're only growing more now. So I thought it was the right move to partner up with Leedon, and hopefully he can take me to the top then.
Well, yeah, it's very exciting times because, as I just mentioned, Let's Go Management are one of the biggest growing boxing companies in the UK, and they're signing fighters on a daily basis, and most of their fighters are featuring on the majority of the UK shows. I've also noticed that in your Instagram, you've been teaming up with the likes of Jordan Thompson, Felix Cash, Joe Cordina, to sort of gain that experience going on into the next phase of your career. You're 4-0 now. What did you take
Yeah.
about those training sessions with the likes of the Jordan Thompsons, the Felix Cashes and the Joe Cordinas?
Well, I think I left my legs still up there because it's the absolute killer of a session. They are. It's nothing but quality training up there, sparring the best people, and just being surrounded by nothing but champions. So being around them, you're only gonna reach the top. Like I think. So like I've been up there, but I went up there the first time a couple of years ago. I've been up there two, 3 times since. Like so, it's awesome. It's great training.
Well, you've signed with a good management company, and you're getting in very good training with, highly ranked fighters in their own weights, which obviously is exactly what a fighter at the stage of their career, the career that you're in, is what they need right now. You're 4-0, you're undefeated. What can you tell me about what the plans are for the rest of 2023 are?
Um, well, I think I'm fighting in Cardiff on the 26th or 27th of May, and I'm hoping to get out in July and early July, and then a couple of times more after in the later on in the year, and hopefully pick up like an area title this year. But I'm I'm just going at their full speed now. It's I'm just looking forward to getting my ranking up there.
You mentioned the area title. Obviously, that's en route to a British title, which is obviously sort of like the first step in any British fight.
Yeah.
How far off would you say you are from a British title, and given with the British fighters that we've got in the domestic 168-pound division right now, Jordan?
But I know the champions, Mark Efron, and I think that'd be a great fight for me. Like obviously, still got to get my experience in that at the minute, getting through the rounds, and I think it'd be no problem for me, to be honest.
One of the things that stood out when I noticed you on Instagram was obviously the ring name, the Welsh Canelo. Just talk to me about that name that you've got. Where did it come from, and how tough is it going to be to live up to that name, the Welsh Canelo? Because when you talk about Canelo Alvarez, he is regarded as one of the best fighters in the world, from the Pan Kings.
Well, what a name to live up to, like. But it first come from I went out to LA to Spa for 2 weeks. I went to one of the Mexican gyms out there, and as I turned around, they had this Mexican guy shouting "Canelo, Canelo." As I turned around, he thought that was him because I got ginger and I'm pale. So he thought it was me, like. So I guys, and then when he watched me spar, and he said, "Dude, you can box with him." So it kind of just stuck with me from Alec.
Well, that's definitely a great compliment to say for someone
Yeah,
that you box like Canelo. Speaking of Canelo, as I mentioned, he is one of the kings in boxing right now, and he is the king of the 168-pound division. his next undisputed world title defense is against British fighter John Ryder. It's a tough task for John Ryder, but it is a fight. Anything can happen in boxing. What does John Ryder have to do to beat Canelo on the night, Jordan?
It's tough, like, because considering at that weight he's never lost, so you can only speak for the losses he's had, but he stepped up to like the heavyweight. But it's going to be tough. I think you just have to stick to him. And well, it's better out there as well on Cinco de Mayo in Mexico. It's going to be a tough ask to beat him out there. You'd have to knock him out, I think.
Another thing that obviously is a current topic in boxing is Amir Khan's failed drugs test, which was after the Kell Brook fight last year. It's angered a lot of people in boxing as to why it's come out now. Just want to get your thoughts on that, Jordan. What do you make of the whole Amir Khan failing a drug test?
I thought it was a bit mental. It's come out now, like, considering that was probably one of his last fights as well, to be fair. I thought he was retired after that. So for it to come out now, it's kind of just tarnished everything, and he's done before. So people will always ask the question, "Oh, he's probably doing it years ago." So it's gutting to see fighters at that kind of level needing to take things agar, and it's kind of that's why the drug things, the drug testing is in place, and they should have picked that up when they had the fight.
With so many situations regarding in terms of drugs use in boxing, it's been a very, very disastrous time for drugs use in boxing. Obviously, we've had the whole Conor Benn situation, and now this whole Amir Khan failing a drug test scandal has come out as of yesterday, more or less a year on after the fight with Kell Brook. What has boxing got to do to sort of stamp its authority down and say enough's enough? And how can we get rid of drug cheats in boxing?
Well, I think now that more people is coming out of the woodwork that they're testing positive, I think British boxing's going to clamp down on it. I think now they're going to start testing people more often and frequently, I think.
Okay, Jordan, before we let you go, where can the viewers find you on social media, and what can we expect to see from you in the rest of 2023?
You can follow my socials. It's JoeMiller16 on Instagram, and hopefully I'll be Welsh champion by the year's done. And a couple of years I'll be British champion. Mark my words.
Hey, Jordan Rivers, we really appreciate your time. Thank you very much for coming on to speak to us. We look forward to catching up with you soon. And once again, thank you very much for talking to Lights Out.
Thank you, brothers. Pleasure.